A lot of you are probably desperately trying to get into Morrowind and enjoy the game for what it is, but it's hard when it's an old game. A lot of us are just kind of spoiled with quest helpers and features in games that Morrowind just simply doesn't have. Once you finish creating your character and you pick up your releasement papers, you're going to find an item called a limeware platter up in the corner shelf near the middle. Now, what happens is when you pick it up, you're going to want to drop it immediately. And after this, a guard's going to come rushing up to you telling you, hey, this isn't okay. If you do this again once you're released, it's not going to fly. But it's okay, because if you hit goodbye and pick it back up, they will not notice it or give a shit about it, and you'll be able to walk out and you can sell it for about 650. And that way you have some starting gold in the beginning of the game to spend on whatever it is you decide to spend the money on. A lot of issues players seem to have is missing one in combat. Now, 90% of the time this happens when your fatigue is completely drained. That's the green bar that's supposed to be on the bottom left. If you notice here in the screen right now, my character is picking a fight with some guards and he's completely drained of fatigue. He will not hit a single target, most likely, because he wasn't cautious about his fatigue level. Just make sure when you're running about and you feel like you're about to enter combat or head into a situation that could be dire, just make sure your fatigue's not low, walk, wait a bit, and you should be good. If you're a loot hoarder like me, you probably have a lot of items to sell. Now, fortunately, compared to Skyrim, you don't have to wait 2 or 3 days for the vendors to refill on their gold. All you have to do is wait 1 day, 24 hours, and the vendor should be completely refreshed of gold. Pretty self-explanatory, we've all done it. I mean, it's kind of common sense, but for some people, they probably don't realize it because they might be new to Morrowind games, so there's that for you, and I hope that becomes helpful for you when you have a lot of items to sell. A big issue with the game that gets a lot of new players to quit and not want to continue playing the game is the quests in the journal. We're all kind of spoiled with quest helpers, icons, mini-maps that actually point out where to go, and I understand the frustration, but you gotta understand this game's older and it's supposed to get you more immersed. Now, that being said, the easiest way to figure out where to go in a quest and how to find your quest is to hit J on your journal. Now, keep in mind that you do need both expansions of the game to have this feature, whereas if you just have the vanilla game and none of the expansions, you will not be able to do this. So, let's go ahead and give a great example. This KS here gave me a quest, it's part of the main story, and he wants me to meet a specific person in a specific place. So, if you click on options and you click on the quest that he gave you, which in this case is meet Soul Matul, I see here that he's explaining to me why it is I'm meeting this person and where I have to meet him. I read the whole thing and I noticed he said that I have to meet this person in Urshaluku camp. However, it's not explaining to me how to get there. What I failed to do was talk to him and figure out where that location is. So, when you talk to a quest giver, make sure you're reading what's going on. The dialogue's very important. Yes, you have to read in this game. And make sure that if you read the quest and you're not sure where it is it's telling you to go, that you ask him. So if I scroll to the bottom here, I see that I have the option to talk to him about that camp, Urshaluku camp. So now if I go to my journal, you'll notice the things that were in blue, these are points of interest. So if you have a question regarding something that he says, you can click on it. In this case, since I wasn't sure where the camp is, if I click on it, that's now highlighted in blue, it now gives me specific directions of how to get to this camp from the location that the quest was given. Don't let the idea of no quest helper not make you want to play the game. It's actually very simple to get around more than you would think. If you looked at your journal for a specific quest and it told you to go to Caldera, just go to the next signpost, see the direction it's pointing you to go in, and just make sure you stay on that dirt road. As long as you don't wander off, you'll head up to a next signpost that will point you where to go from there, and eventually you will arrive to your destination. Whatever you do, do not put acrobatics or athletics in your major or minor skills. There's really no point. Those are the two things, sprinting and jumping, that you're going to do more than anything else, even over combat. Let's admit it, it's a big world. Yes, there's fast travel and teleportation, but a lot of the time you're going to be running and jumping. A good way to go about leveling it up is jumping up a flight of stairs, because every step that you jump on there, you are adding to your skill level. Another good option too as well is to auto run into a corner. If you hit caps lock, it allows you to sprint without needing to hold shift, and if you push Q, it has you run without needing to hold W or any of the movement keys. You could just do that straight into a corner and just wait a day, half a day, hour, whatever, however long you want to do it. It's all completely up to you. It's a great way to level up your skills. Again, don't put it in your major or minor skills. It's pointless. There's so many other skills to put in there. A lot of times when you're playing Morrowind, and even more if you're playing on a graphics overhaul, you'll get stuck. Especially when the textures are being moved around, or just Morrowind in general, you'll get stuck on the dumbest things. You'll notice in the screen that I'm stuck and I can't get out of this situation. A quick way to get out is to go into console and type in TCL, the tilde key. That's how you get into console. It's the button just above the tab, just below the escape. You can simply just no clip out, and just be careful not to go in places like underground or through walls, because you might actually get yourself screwed. To get out of it, go back into console and type TCL, and you'll go back into position and you'll be able to be on your way.
You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Okay guys, I could go in extreme depth about what skill does what and what attribute does what, but to be honest, it's pretty self-explanatory and there's really nothing to talk about except for a few things that I feel like you might want to know that I didn't know. Now, as mentioned before, I'm not a Morrowind pro. I don't know everything from front to back. I'm not a hardcore enchanter or scroll or whatever, but I can tell you a few things that I didn't know about that helped me enjoy the game a bit more. Because let's be honest, if you don't know what skills or attributes that you're picking or what your character is capable of, you're probably not going to be really excited to play. There are a few things to talk about: minor skills and major skills. If you wanted to be a Longblade pro and you didn't have it in here, that doesn't mean you can't do it. You can still level up Longblade. As a matter of fact, it could be the best skill out of your entire skill list. The only difference, the only thing that major and minor skills does is help increase that level for you if that's the skill that you choose to play as. So obviously, if you block, you're going to level up block. If you attack with a Longblade, you're going to level up Longblade, and etc. It goes all the way down the list. Major skills are obviously going to help increase your skill a lot faster. Minor skill, it's going to increase it faster, but not as fast as major. If it's in none of these, it's just normal leveling. It really doesn't matter. So if you forgot to put enchanting down, don't be discouraged by it. If you're already halfway through the game and you wish you had enchanting, then just level it. I mean, sure, it'll take a little longer than usual, but what's the hurry? You're playing Morrowind. It really doesn't matter. I really hope this helped encourage you guys want to get back into Morrowind, because starting off for myself, I endlessly attempted in playing and always gave up shortly after. It's got an old combat system, and the gameplay's a little complex, and it discouraged me into proceeding any further. But once I passed the threshold and understanding what I was doing, and knowing what I was getting myself into, I still to this day can't stop playing the game. I know what kind of character I'm making, and getting around the world is actually a lot more easier and not as stressful as it used to be. Oh, just a reminder too, the graphics that I'm using is called MGSO. It's a graphics and sound overhaul, and it also uses a code patcher and improves the game in small ways that I think you guys would actually come to appreciate. Let me know if you guys want any further content. Maybe I can cover more issues of questions that you guys might have, or maybe you just want me to show you different character builds. Anyway guys, hope this helped. Take care.